Alright guys, welcome back to DW's Chop Shop. It is currently like 2:50 in the morning and I can't sleep, so we're going to put some push rods in. It's not a real hard thing to do, but it is something that a lot of people have issues with, and we'll even go over adjusting them. But the first thing we want to do is I want to replace all these old cork gaskets, right? So I'm going to need to grab a pick and then just kind of get on in here. Pull them out. Okay. I got new ones sitting here. So we'll stick them in. Okay, so you have O-rings here, and you have O-rings that go in your heads, which are not in there. There we go. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Now, in each one of our push rod covers, there's a shitty cork gasket. And we're going to get that out of there. And replace that. Another shitty cork gasket. Put that one on backwards. Now, next thing that we want to do is we want to get our lifters as low as we can, right? Which means they're going to be riding on the bottom of the camshaft. And this is our lifter right here. What it looks like is this, okay? Now, if you pull your lifter out, which they do just pull right out, try to make sure you put it back in the same spot. And these are two pieces, right? So you want to try to make sure if these come apart, they go back in together. Theoretically, they should fit wherever, right? But they've been kind of machined to themselves just from going up and down for a million years. Now, you'll notice that these don't go back together real easy. There's a check valve in here. Okay, if I grab a pick, right, that doesn't have shit on it, see that? Perfect. And then you can drop it back. Okay, so you're going to run into some different links here, right? And those links are going to be in this bottom portion. Your exhaust push rods should be a little bit longer than your intake push rods. Sometimes you can make them work, sometimes you can't. It depends if you got OEM, aftermarket push rods. Shit's different, stuff's been messed with for a billion years. Here we go. So this one stretches out pretty good. I feel like it's going to be an exhaust. Okay, it's going to go that way. Yep. Alright, so rounded piece up. this piece down. And I'm just going to go till it holds itself in place. And I'm going to line that up. I can probably fit these two on. That one's questionable. So what I'm doing here is, right now, this lifter is pretty pumped up, right? So if I take this and I get some of that oil out, now I can kind of collapse it, right? It's not enough for me in this one to get the lifter on, or the push rod on, but it was enough in this one for me to get the push rod on. Now, if you couldn't tell, these are not in there very tight at all, because I don't want to get piston to valve or bend to push rod or bend to valve or anything like that. So everything right now, super loose, loosey goosey. The only thing that's even remote is this one, because it is all the way down where we want it. And we will go over alignment on this one. All right, okay, so we're gonna align this push rod, right? Now, if you looked over my solid push rod video, you will have noticed that I took the lash out of this. We're at 0 lash, and that is what you want, okay? Now, on hydraulics, as you've noticed, we have these collapsible lifters, and right now they are pumped up, right? So we need to compress those right down to that length right there. And the way we do that is, if you look in your manual, it's going to give you a measurement on these threads right here, right? But there's a million guys that have been doing this for a million years, and they've figured out that these flats right here, right, the flats on the bottom portion of the push rod, 24 of these flats is what we need to turn it to reach our desired goal. So I'm going to tighten this up until I have 0 up and down play, and I can just move it with my fingers, right? Now, after that, I will take these 2 wrenches and I'm going to count 24 of these flats. A lot of guys will mark them. I'm going to ride dirty. Okay. So one's right there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 flats. Now, another thing you're going to notice is I can no longer move this, right? Because this lifter is collapsed and it is under pressure. But if we let this sit for about 15 minutes and we come back, we'll be able to spin it. And because the lifter has bled down. That, my friend, is how we know we have the correct setting here. Oh, another fun thing is this wrench, I have ground it down, and this is just something that helps so that you can fit it on your push rod, right? See that? And still put another 7/16 on this nut to tighten stuff up. So that's nice. So that's what we'll do right now. We'll tighten that jam nut. Oh yeah. I need yet another 7/16. Thought I had one. And you need a whole bunch of wrenches to do this because you need to stop the bottom from moving. You need to stop the top from moving. And then you need to be able to tighten the jam nut. There we go. Okay. Next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to turn the motor over until one of these other lifters ends up at bottom dead center. Well, bottom. So these two are close. This one is wide open, right? So the way that I've done it to be able to turn this motor over, because this motor is closed up, you go ahead and pop it up into second gear. Then you rotate the tire, get it stuck, and then pop it up into third, rotate the tire up into fourth, right? So as I stand back here and grunt and move the tire, I'm going to keep an eye on these lifters and see where they go. So now you'll see, I do believe this one is at our bottom stroke. This should fly right in there now. Oh yeah. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing. I have 0 lash. I have no up and down play. We're going to count flats. So that is 1. Okay, so that is 1, 2. Oh, shit. Okay, I forgot to hold our push rod in place. Okay, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Oh, we're already getting our movement back in that one. See? Beautiful. And of course, that one we just collapsed the lifter before we stuck her in. So she's good. All right. Okay, so now we are back to rotating the wheels until we see these two. Let's count it out. Okay, we have up and down lash. We don't want that. Okay, now I have no up and down, but I have side to side. See? So we will stick our wrench on there, back our jam nut off. Now we will come in here, right there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. All right, now we're going to lock her down. Okay. Now, I'm gonna go back here and grunt, probably do some fast forwarding, but we need this valve to close. Alright, so I got our last intake valve all the way down at the bottom. That's a bitch to do. It sucks. I was even had to angle the camera a little bit so that I could see what I was doing. But let's go ahead and count these ones out. I'm going to back the jam nut off. I'm going to get rid of our slack. Okay, now get you in there. Okay, so flap 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute. That ain't right. Okay, let's try that again, go in the right direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. There we go. And this engine hasn't had any oil through it, so these push rods are getting a lot spinnier, a lot quicker. So that's it. These push rods are adjusted. Now we just need to put our covers on. And it's a good idea to just stop right here. Stop. Give it 20 minutes, and then come back and run it through. Make sure you get each one of these to its lowest setting, and make sure you can spin your push rod with no up and down lash. Okay, so I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna come back in a minute and I'm gonna do the checks, and then I'll pick this video back up putting our covers in. Okay, gave it a couple minutes. That one is right, this one is right. These two are in the up position now that I'm done checking stuff. But we're going to put our covers back on. And there's a couple ways to do this. My favorite just so happens to be what I think is the easiest. First thing is to get these old ass covers up and into the head, like so. Now, might take a smaller screwdriver and try to kind of hold that up in there, and then I like to push down on the bottom. Okay, now I'll take a screwdriver, a nice big fat flat one, and stick it under the head. You see how much I can pull down on that? So close. Back. Let's get down one more. There we go. Cover's on, so I'm gonna do the other three real quick. Alright guys, that's how you adjust shovel head push rods. I hope this helps somebody.